Tonight on CTV News at 5.
I would say chicken is one of our most sought-after items.
Price alert, prepare to carve out more of your grocery budget for the rising cost of chicken.
I'm Atlanta Paco. I'm the Prescott weather presenter. Everybody loves watching my weather reports.
A ray of sunshine. Michelina's forecast will make you smile even on cloudy days.
Some clearing tonight, but also chilly and gusty. More rain expected before the week is done.
Live from the Maritime's News Center, this is CTV News at 5.
Good evening and welcome to CTV News at 5. I'm Maria Penopalis. Thanks for joining us. First at 5 tonight, poultry prices. If you think chicken is expensive now, just wait. When the price of beef soared, a lot of beef lovers turned to chicken instead. But now, as CTV's Jonathan McGinnis reports, that shift in demand will likely have us paying more for chicken. Jonathan.
Well, Maria, with chicken prices expected to rise, discount grocers like the Gateway Meat Market will be challenged to also try to keep their prices low. The Gateway Meat Market is busy most days. The line tends to slow significantly near the protein section.
I would say chicken is one of our most sought-after items.
With beef prices high, more people are putting chicken in their carts.
Big fan of chicken, so I don't eat a whole lot of it. But again, for the chicken legs and stuff like that, I go for them here.
The market's move toward chicken is causing a problem with its availability.
We have noticed a little bit that supply is a little bit down. We buy everything locally from Berwick, Eden Valley.
A lot of consumers are looking for different sources of protein, and there's just no Canadian chicken. Supplies are really low, so we've been importing way more chicken coming from the U.S., Chile mostly, but mostly from the U.S.
Still not enough to meet the demand, according to the head of Dalhousie University's Agri-Foods Lab.
Because of supply management, you have high tariffs and you need the government to actually allow more products into the market. But there's been so much lobbying going on to protect our market that really a lot of politicians are just concerned and they don't want to do anything about that.
Charlebois says wholesale prices have already doubled and major jumps are expected over the next several months.
But it's likely going to exceed 5%. We're expecting probably chicken prices to increase by as much as 20 to 25%.
The goal now for McKay is to try to keep her prices as low as possible.
We have always problem solved, month by month as markets change, but we tend to be able, like I said, to get creative and get flexible and pull from a budget somewhere else just to help our customers out with a staple that we know that they need to feed their families with.
A challenge that's becoming more and more difficult. And Maria, as for when we might see those chicken prices peak, Sylvain Charlebois says he anticipates it will be sometime midwinter. Maria.
Thank you, Jonathan. CTV's Jonathan McGinnis in Westfall, Nova Scotia for us this evening. Oh, my goodness. Todd Batt is standing by. Speaking of budgeting and budgets, it's a big day in Canada today.
It's all about the money today, Maria. That's right. Budget day in Ottawa, and Mark Carney's government is expected at this hour to unveil a big spending, big deficit fiscal blueprint. We expect there will be money for the military, for housing and infrastructure projects. We will have details and reaction throughout our newscast tonight at 6. It was a hectic start, to say the least, this morning for schools in New Brunswick, for parents, students, and teachers. Police evacuated 7 schools after receiving bomb threats. The schools were all checked out and found to be safe in the Fredericton area. A suspect is in custody tonight. We will get the latest from the capital. This is Cape Breton, and heavy rain fell across wide parts of the Maritimes today, but nowhere more so than there. There's a look right now at Sydney. Caused all kinds of problems. Upwards of 60 millimeters of rain accompanied by high winds. Now, people with dry wells, they're not too upset at all to see that. What will the final numbers be? The man in the know, Kayla Mitchell, in the Weather Center. And that was an impressive system that's been moving through there.
Yeah, and once again, it was really that eastern part of Nova Scotia that caught the worst of it here in the Maritimes. I'm talking about the heavy, so the rain and the high winds, that is, because the storm system intensified, or really went into its phase of intensifying when it passed the east of Nova Scotia. Now it's on its way towards Newfoundland and Labrador, where it's expected to have more extensive impacts as far as severe weather conditions go. This evening around the Maritimes, it is chilly, it is damp, and it is gusty. Temperatures right now mostly around the mid to high single digits. Speaking of those winds, they ramped up as that storm system intensified as well. Sustained winds right now away from coastal areas, not too bad, mostly 20 to 30 kilometers per hour, but some areas of the coast experiencing much higher winds than that, including the weather station at Briar Island reporting a sustained wind at 69 kilometers per hour. A few other coastal weather stations around Nova Scotia and Prince Edward Island reporting some sustained winds between 40 and 60 kilometers per hour. There are stronger gusts as well. Some of the inland gusts getting in the range of 40 to 60 kilometers per hour. Some of the coastal gusts and gusts at higher terrain up between 60 and 80 kilometers per hour. And our remaining weather warnings are related to the winds with this weather system, or more accurately coming in directly in behind it. So wind warnings out for Inverness, Victoria counties in Cape Breton, as well as Kings County and Prince Edward Island. Still a potential tonight of some peak wind gusts reaching 90 kilometers per hour. The remainder of PEI, the north shore of Nova Scotia and Cape Breton County, underneath the statement there, gusts could be between 70 and 90. Maria.
Oh, thank you, Kaylin. We'll check in with you in just a little bit. Right now, though, an acclaimed a cappella group from Southern Africa is on tour in our region this week. CTV's Joel LeBlanc puts the spotlight on Black Umfolosi International.
BUI is Black Umfolosi International. It is this fascinating music and dance group, originally doing a cappella music, but also over a period of time has incorporated a lot of art forms like some drumming and dancing, a lot of dancing and drumming. So it's actually an explosion of art. The dances also, we come from a community that lives and thrives on music and dance. So it's more like a thing that you do almost all your life. From when you are still a child, your parents doing it or singing for you and dancing for you, and then you grasp that as you grow up, it becomes natural in your system. The messages also would actually be drawn from everything around us in life. It could cover a bit of politics, more on social issues, love, and etc., etc. We formed this group as a way of preserving our traditions that were fast dying. Over a period of time, everything evolves. So the kind of music that we are doing, at some point we saw it was almost like getting faint and faint and faint. So we therefore decided that we wanted to preserve and to revive it, but give it some new life so that it is relevant to the present generations. Coming to Canada was more like coming to our second home. We were so much received with, positive hands, and we loved it. Nova Scotia in particular, I just fell in love with Nova Scotia. So far, the venues that we have done, the response has been amazing. The Canada that we expected, the Canada that we love.
Well, we love hearing that for sure. They're performing this evening, by the way, at the Carlton in Halifax, and they've got a number of shows right through November 9th. You can check their website out for all of those dates and times. All right, time for a break. When we come back, though, we've got these stories.
I'm Avery McRae in Fredericton, where it's the end of an era. After 50 years on this bustling Fredericton street corner, Tony's Music Box is on its final tune and soon will be closing its doors. That story is still to come on CTV News at 5.
Hi, I'm McConvey here at St. Mary's University with business student Van Bernard. Coming up on CTV News at 5, find out how this former IWK champion child is changing the game, championing inclusion for all in sports. That story coming up.
Celebrate the outstanding class of 2025. The Nova Scotia Sport Hall of Fame induction ceremony takes place Saturday, November 8th at 7 p.m. at the Lighthouse Arts Centre in Halifax. Visit nsshf.com to purchase tickets.
Welcome back. Van Bernard stole our hearts when he was just a little boy when we first met him, and he's continued to impress us ever since. CTV's Emma Convey caught up with Van at St. Mary's University, where he started his next chapter of breaking down barriers.
To go to Ottawa and talk about, the importance of accessibility, inclusivity, and diversity is something that I'm truly passionate about.
Van Bernard has dedicated his life to making a difference. The now first-year sports business major at St. Mary's University has been an advocate for those living with disabilities since he was a kid.
I've always wanted to be an endorsement agent for para-athletes to make sure that they get much more recognition.
He's one of 10 students to receive the Sobeys National Innovator Scholarship, awarded to a student with an average above 90% who's demonstrated leadership within the community, something he's done for years. As the valedictorian for his high school and most recently a recipient of the Terry Fox Humanitarian Award.
The people who have won have gone on to do fantastic things, and to be in the same topic as Terry Fox as a Canadian is truly an honor.
Those who work with Van at St. Mary's University say the real honor is having him on their team. 15% of students here are registered with the Fred Smithers Center for Student Accessibility.
Sometimes it takes having somebody like Van in the classroom to really be able to kind of push that needle and make those conversations happen. And we're really lucky that Van is really open and happy to kind of lead the charge.
Nova Scotia has the highest percentage of people with disabilities, and doing things like advocating, putting messages out there, and educating the public is so important.
When it comes to opening doors in the world of sports, Van is already on track.
Van's influence and his perspective and his energy really inspires both his peers, faculty, and staff at the university in terms of what the sports business program can be and how sports can be for everyone.
Which is the message he continues to present and practice. Emma Convey, CTV News, Halifax.
Seriously, if you want something done, give it to Van Bernard. He is amazing. You are just outstanding, Van. We love seeing you just thrive and help other people to thrive.
I've been fortunate enough to talk with him a couple of times. You could not meet a nicer guy.
No, absolutely true. And we have to give an honorable mention to the late, great Spencer McKay, who we saw in that report as well. All right, let's talk a little bit about the weather now. What a turn, Kaylin.
Listen, we needed the rain, and now we're getting it. So I guess we can't look too down on this wet weather. Looking out here at the Uniacke Estate Museum in Mount Uniacke. I'll have more on that wet weather next.
Welcome back. Kaylin Mitchell joins us once again. Kaylin, I stepped out briefly earlier today and I regretted it instantly. I found it very, very unpleasant, quite chilly and kind of damp.
Yeah, and especially when that wind picks up and we've got that dampness in the air, whether it's just in the form of that rain having moved through or that rain still falling, you can really feel these chillier November temperatures. It wasn't exactly beach weather today. We're looking out here, though, at a nice view from St. John's Tin Can Beach as we take a look at our sunrise and sunset times. And of course, because of the time change this past weekend, sunset now happening an hour earlier. All right, let's take a look at what's going on our weather systems map. Barometric pressure has fallen because we had that developing storm system. It wasn't too stormy at first as it approached the Maritimes, but it really intensified into what I would describe as a storm as it moved just past the east of Nova Scotia, and really having some widespread severe weather impacts on parts of Newfoundland, where they have reported some wind gusts well in excess of 120, even one at 150 kilometers per hour because of that storm system. Sable Island as well reported a couple wind gusts in excess of 120 kilometers per hour. So this would be hurricane force wind gusts. Fortunately, much of the onland areas of the Maritimes haven't seen winds that strong, but there are wind warnings in effect for parts of Cape Breton and eastern areas of Prince Edward Island. We're still seeing a little bit of wet weather on the tail end of that storm as well, mostly in the form of rain, still coming across parts of Cape Breton, though the heavier downpours, those have stopped. And then there's some bands, some scattered showers around other parts of the Maritimes. Now, as we make our way through this evening and towards midnight, most of the rain and the showers are going to be coming to an end. In fact, by the time we get to midnight, I'd say we're down to around a 40% chance of showers, for Cape Breton, and then clearing conditions for the remainder of the Maritimes. But chilly, and winds are still going to be gusty all night long, and blustery winds in the forecast for Wednesday. Now, Wednesday morning, we start off very sunny across New Brunswick, mainland Nova Scotia, more of a mix of sun and cloud for Prince Edward Island and Cape Breton. And then for Wednesday afternoon, we start to see some cloud cover increase from the west for the entirety of the Maritimes. And that's running ahead of our next weather system, which will be arriving late Wednesday night into Thursday. That one packing more rain for Nova Scotia and PEI, and a mixture of showers and flurries for New Brunswick. Winds in the forecast for the next 24 hours. As I mentioned before, they're still going to be gusty throughout much of the night, so even by around midnight, fairly widespread gusts in the region between 40 and 60 kilometers per hour, and even stronger than that. Eastern PEI, Inverness, Victoria counties in Cape Breton, coastal areas of the north shore of mainland Nova Scotia. And then tomorrow's winds remain out of a west and northwest direction, and there'll be some widespread gusts 30 to 50, except some peak gusts near 60 for parts of Cape Breton. Low temperatures in the forecast for tonight will be falling into a range of around 1 to 3 degrees for New Brunswick, down to around the low to mid single digits for Prince Edward Island for tonight. Most of the lows for Nova Scotia between 3 and 6 degrees, so it's going to be chilly, especially with those gusty winds. And then highs in the forecast for tomorrow, they're very similar to today, so 8 to 10 degrees for New Brunswick, near 9 degrees for many communities in Prince Edward Island. Most of the high temperatures for Nova Scotia between 8 and 10. Let's take a look at Thursday's forecast. So there's that next low pressure system moving by. Again, rain for Nova Scotia and PEI could be another 10 to 30 millimeters, and a mixture of showers and flurries for New Brunswick. Temperatures will be getting chilly in behind that weather system for the end of this week on Friday. Let's take a look at our weather watcher for tonight. And our weather watcher is coming in, and this is an appropriate one given the weather that we saw today. This is from Rihanna, and Rihanna has sent us a drawing of putting an umbrella to good use in the middle of a rainstorm. And if you'd like to be one of our weather watchers, they can come into CTV Weather Watchers, P.O. Box 1653, Halifax, Nova Scotia, B3J2Z4, or email kaylin.mitchell@bellmedia.ca. Now is a great time to get some weather watchers in. Love to start seeing some winter and maybe some Christmas holiday themed ones. Maria.
Nice. All right, Kaylin. The message is out there. All right, time for our next story here. After serving the musical community of Fredericton for half a century, Tony's Music Box is shutting its doors. As CTV's Avery McCrae shows us, the storefront has been a fixture in the city's downtown and will be missed by many.
Rick Arsenault has been coming to Tony's Music Box since moving to Fredericton in 1993. But soon he will have to look elsewhere for his musical supplies.
Bought a lot of guitars. Geez, a big part of my heart is going to be gone here.
After 50 years on this bustling downtown street corner, this beloved music shop will play its final tune on November 22nd.
There was a whole perfect storm of different things that, came to into play on it, and this is where we find ourselves.
Since announcing the decision in late October, the community has made their way to Tony's to get that one final guitar pick, last set of drumsticks, and just about everything in between.
It's been crazy. We've had a lot of sales, a lot of support, a lot of people in.
Which is why there is little left in the store. And those looking to get inside one last time should know the hours have been reduced for the final weeks.
We did the best work we could possibly do, and I think that we were pretty proud of a lot of what we did, and so, that was gratifying. It was great to be involved in it, and I think a lot of people appreciated it, or at least they've said so. So. Mission accomplished there.
And it will be missed not just by Fredericton residents, but musicians across the Maritimes.
My wife works out on the base and CFBH down there or whatever, and, everybody seems to know all about it out there.
I think you talk to any musician across the East Coast, they'll know where Tony's is.
While Tony's is nearing its final tune, the music and memories written here over 5 decades will never die. Avery McCrae, CTV News, St. John.
Well said, Avery. Thank you, Avery, and thank you to the store owners for letting us come and visit. All right, taking a break. Here's a look at our final story.
3, 2, 1, go.
Hi, I'm McConvey here at the Press Cell Group in Halifax. Coming up on CTV News at 5, an up-and-coming weather presenter, Michelina DeBacco, joins us to share her craft for her daily weather report. We'll have more on her forecast coming up.
Welcome back. A member of the Prescott Group with a passion for weather presenting has started her own YouTube channel. CTV's Emma Convey stopped by during a recording to see how Michelina puts it all together.
afternoon, everyone, and here's your weather report for today and the next few days.
Michelina Debacle practices her read before delivering her weekly forecast for Prescott News, a YouTube channel she started a year ago.
If there's a warning, then I'll talk about what the warning is, and then I get on with the 7-day forecast.
She's had a passion for weather since she was a kid, and her love for broadcasts started in high school.
When I was going to summer camps, I would write down the weather on a piece of paper and then show it to the camp counselors.
She's come a long way since joining the Prescott group 10 years ago. Back then, she started on the PA system, and eventually her recordings were sent out to staff and members. These days, it's in front of a live audience, both in person and online.
Saturday night, showers low +4. And for Sunday,
we try to encourage Michelina to do as much learning and skill development as possible for her weather. And any opportunity that she has, she's either teaching our participants, her coworkers and friends, and staff.
Michelina creates a backdrop using Canva, then records herself reading the weekly report from Environment Canada.
Dun, 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 dun. And I start talking. And it shows the Prescott logo too at the bottom corner, just like how on TV you would see the CTV symbol.
The team at the Prescott group helps Michelina put it all together and hope teaching her these skills will open doors.
She has a great support staff, Hannah, that does it with her, so they work on the effects and the digital side of things and editing. So that's a whole other skill development that's coming along with it.
Michelina currently has 17 subscribers to her channel. And after she posts her report every Monday, the first thing she looks for are the views.
I want to get more viewers to watch it, just like to do with TV, but it's better than nothing. I have some way to be included.
Michelina's dream is to grow her YouTube following and share Prescott News with the world.
Michelina Debacle, Prescott News, Halifax.
Very good. Emma Convey, CTV News, Halifax.
Awesome, very good.
Oh, I love this. This is amazing. Michelina, you are outstanding. How
I will
fun
be
is
liking
that?
and subscribing the channel for
Excellent. I mean, she's pretty good, Kaylin.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what the awesome thing about weather is? There's always something new to learn in it.
Absolutely. And to talk about, which is something you'll be doing at 6 o'clock.
Yeah, sure will. We're going to catch up with the latest on what's left of the wet and windy conditions for tonight, and then we'll get to the extended forecast.
And more on the federal budget at 6 o'clock as well. Thanks for watching. The national news is next.